Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. When talking about the origin of traditional Chinese medicine, most people will have a picture in their minds. Shennong tasted hundreds of herbs and encountered 72 poisons in one day. This mythical story we have heard since childhood. It is not only the origin legend of traditional Chinese medicine, but also has a profound impact on our understanding of traditional Chinese medicine. But today we are going to put aside the filter of myth and use modern people's logic and common sense to take a look. How were those traditional Chinese medicines that can cure diseases and save lives discovered by the ancients? How many unknown logical loopholes are hidden behind this? If this article subverts your knowledge, please tell me in the comment area. Is Shennong's tongue a laboratory instrument? Let us break down the first and biggest question first: is the effect of medicine really tasted through the mouth? Our ordinary tongues can only distinguish between sour, sweet, bitter, spicy, and salty at best. You will definitely not find any modern veteran Chinese medicine doctor who dares to stand up and say that he chewed an unknown weed at random, can accurately report its pharmacological effects. So the question is, why is Shennong's tongue so good? Does his mouth come with a multifunctional molecular spectrometer? Or, as in another more outrageous legend, he used a magic whip to draw out the effects of the medicine? These are obviously nonsense that goes against common sense. Some people may take a step back and say that Shennong tested it by using his own body as a guinea pig. Then let us restore a very absurd scene. Shennong was suffering from all kinds of diseases. He picked up a piece of grass and swallowed it. The hemorrhoids are gone, so write it down quickly. Eat another one. The athlete's foot is gone. Continue to write down. After eating 100 kinds of grass, he not only wrote a pharmacopoeia, but also resurrected with full blood. This sounds exciting, but it simply doesn't stand up to mathematical scrutiny. We all know that Chinese medicine rarely prescribes prescriptions, and a pair of Chinese medicines often contains more than a dozen herbs. In order to facilitate calculation, we will calculate based on the simplest 5 flavored medicine prescription. Suppose Shennong only had 100 herbs to choose from, and he wanted to prepare a 5-flavor medicine recipe. The number of permutations and combinations is 100 times 99 times 98 times 97 times 96. The result is a staggering 9 billion times. Suppose Shennong transformed into a ruthless medicine testing machine, testing a prescription every minute 24 hours a day, all year round. Divide 9 billion by the number of minutes in a year. It would take him 17,000 years to come up with an effective formula. Therefore, Shennong was definitely not poisoned to death by heartbroken grass. In the end, he died of exhaustion. Giving the credit for drug testing to Shennong or famous doctors is actually to cover up the embarrassment of the ancients who could not explain the pharmacology. Ancient doctors would indeed taste the medicine themselves, but this was just to confirm that the medicine would not kill people in the short term. As for the long-term side effects, there's nothing they can do about it. Is thousands of years of experience really reliable? Since it is unrealistic for Shennong to taste all kinds of herbs, traditional Chinese medicine, fans usually come up with another trump card. Traditional Chinese medicine is a summary of the experience gained by countless Chinese people over thousands of years. Sounds great, right? But is experience really absolutely reliable? Subjective experience is often the biggest trap in human cognition. Why science needs double-blind testing and data reporting? It is to eliminate the fatal errors caused by subjective experience. In ancient times, due to the lack of scientific verification system, the ancients were extremely easily misled by the following false experiences. Self-healing scams for self-limiting illnesses like the common cold or certain viral infections. Even if you don't take medicine, you can get better by relying on your own immunity for 7 days. But if the patient drinks a bowl of soup made from unknown grass on the 3rd day, herbal medicine will directly steal the credit from the immune system. Powerful psychological suggestion effect. The ancients did not understand that an optimistic attitude itself is helpful for recovery. Once the disease is cured, they will only think that the doctor is like a god descending to earth, and that herbal medicine has the power to bring the dead back to life. Accidental nutritional supplements. The ancients had poor living conditions and often suffered from trace element deficiencies. Some animals and plants in traditional Chinese medicine just supplement these missing vitamins. Traditional Chinese medicine will mistakenly think that this is a miraculous healing effect. A completely failed error correction mechanism. The biggest fatal flaw of traditional Chinese medicine is the inability to self-examine. If a prescription is ineffective or even harmful, the ancients did not have the statistical tools to detect the error. This is why Chinese medicine prescriptions are becoming more and more complex. Later generations of doctors could not understand the medical records of their predecessors and could not tell which of the dozens of herbal medicines was working. Just to be on the safe side, throw all the potentially useful herbs into the pot and cook them together. If you ask them how these 20-odd herbs are precisely combined with the yin-yang and 5 elements, I guess no one can explain it to you logically. How experience becomes superstition. What is even more frightening to think about is that in the later development of traditional Chinese medicine, not only did it fail to extract scientific experience, instead it slipped into the abyss of metaphysics and superstition. When experience could not explain reality, the ancients began to use their imaginations, played with homophonic stalks and sympathetic witchcraft. Because bats have excellent vision when flying at night, bat feces, luminous sand can cure eye diseases. Because people have been strangled to death by hanging ropes, the ashes can be used to treat mental illness. Not to mention the various absurd recipes for widows' bedside ashes and even human and animal excrement included in the compendium of Materia Medica. Are these also the experiences that Shizhen personally tasted and tried? Apparently not. When the highly abstract philosophical concepts of yin-yang and 5 elements are forcibly applied to medicine, traditional Chinese medicine has completely lost the power of self-evolution. It has fallen into a metaphysical dead end, and not only has progress been slow over the past 1,000 years, facing the impact of modern medicine, it is even more flawed. Conclusion. Our ancestors lived in extremely harsh living conditions. This indomitable spirit of exploration and trying hard to fight against disease is indeed great and deserves our deep awe. However, the greatness of our ancestors does not mean that we need to mindlessly worship all the conclusions left by our ancestors. To truly respect tradition is to inherit their spiritual core of courageous exploration. Use the most advanced modern scientific tools to re-examine, refining and upgrading this legacy rather than clinging to a system of knowledge that has long since fallen behind. Thank you for watching. If you like my channel, you are welcome to like, collect, and subscribe. See you next time.